What up? Welcome back to the pod. Y'all are just checking in with your two favorite people. It is yours truly, everybody's favorite uncle, Uncle Don Don. And I got my virtual half or audio half of how y'all catch us. My good brother Paul, aka
Mr. Qualifier. How y'all doing? Yeah. No, welcome back to another episode, man. Yeah, how's it going? My week's been trash. So there's that. I can go in depth. I can leave it at that. I digress. But let's start with you.
we can get a good color purple hug going on because my week too has been garbage.
Bring it in. Just bring it in. There we go.
Right.
There we go.
Yeah, we are here. We are present. We are farmers. Da, 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 da.
At this point, look, trying to plant some seeds and get some crops to grow, because we whatever season that they be struggling in, we in that.
Listen, it's giving us bowl, okay? I
That's bold.
I will say good, bad, and indifferent. I appreciate every time that we get on the pod to check in, but you know, sometimes life is a little ashy, and it is giving concrete right now. So
No, truly. I mean, last episode we talked about like the slow start to January, and as of this recording, we are at the tail end of January virtually, and it was more the same. Nothing changed in the week and a half since we recorded for the most part. Hoping that February brings some kind of sense of fresh air, but like I don't know what it is. Like, the week of MLK Day was a 4-day week that still felt like it dragged for whatever reason. And then this week, as of recording, we were off, or remote, I should say, we were remote on Monday. Because,
weather.
because of all the weather. 4-day week this week still feels like it's dragging. The month itself has just dragged. 4-day in office, more so.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
like, where have I been?
Yeah, 4 days in the office for us this week. But yeah, it's dragged. And the whole month has seemed to drag. And I don't know. I was talking with a coworker earlier, and we were like sharing the same sentiments of just today, this week, this month. All of it's the same, pretty much. It's the same sentiment about it all. And she just talked about she brought up the hamster wheel. Because we were also talking about the adjustment of like figuring out what to do with your afternoons, not after your evenings as a professional. Because like you get off at 5 and it's like you don't have an evening, like what, like 4 hours in theory, like 4 to 5 hours in theory seems like a long time, but you add in adult responsibilities and it's more like 45 minutes in total. And that's not even accounting any time for yourself. So we were talking about this hamster wheel of just feeling like you're in the same routine, doing everything and trying to find like different ways to switch it up and ultimately like maximize your time. But getting stuck in the rat race is like a real thing. And January has felt like that, stuck in this hamster wheel, stuck in this rat race of like trying to get started, no rhythm, no nothing. The car needs a jump. Somebody bring some cables. Hell, bring a jump kit. Honestly, bring a new engine at this point. Like we need all the assistance that we can get. But yeah, that pretty much sums up all the feelings.
I'm starting to feel like with both of your references of what you just said, I'm starting to feel like a hoopty that just got dropped off at the dealership
Listen,
or a lab rat because at this point life just testing shit on me and it's just like, will you survive? Find out on the next episode of Help Him. Like
no, truly. Help, what can I say? Help me.
help me.
G, big G. Help me. Some all this testing gotta stop. I was never a good tester to begin with. I don't read with my finger, but testing was never my strong suit. Good Jesus.
Yeah, all these tests that God giving me, I prefer a quiz with a study group because Didn't want to be in the strong soldier army. That ain't what I signed up for. I used to say, I was talking to somebody earlier this week, and I was like, I used to sing, I'm on the battlefield with my Lord, in church with my grandma all the time. This is not the battlefield I thought it would be. Okay.
This battlefield is not like the other one. Something's off. This is the battlefield that Jon Snow fought Ramsay and them in. I don't want to be in that battle.
If for my millennials out there, if you have ever got on your Windows 95 computer and didn't have nothing to do and was not wanting to play solitaire and you played Minesweep or whatever it is, that's what January feels like. I'm just pressing things and hope the game don't end.
No, truly. And I don't know, like even like this is past New Year resolutions. This is past all of the, just New Year stuff. Something about now, granted, there are a lot of um unfair demeaning things occurring in the country by certain organizations that could just be casting a cloud in general over the energy of it all. I feel like that very much could be real, but there's just something in this January water. Whatever the worst brand of water, whatever y'all dislike the most, that's the type of water that January is. Almost made a Flint joke. That was messed up. Glad I didn't make it.
I'm glad that we can't talk at the same time because Flint popped in my head. Lord forgive me that y'all also had clean water and wow.
Yes.
But that was my
Sorry. Our minds a little, we wired a little weird.
it's a little dark and cynical sometimes. We apologize.
We do. But no, ironically enough, we've been talking about like being tested, and that does take me back. Was watching another episode of the Kev on Stage podcast, not my best moment, and this one was with Yvette Nicole Brown. Great episode for anybody that knows her, or is familiar with her work, or if you're not familiar with her work. Great episode to kind of just get hip to everything that she's done. But she had a really good quote that stood out to me, and she was like, I'm not meant to fight. I'm meant to learn. Or like this isn't my battle. This is my lesson. And so I think a lot of times the approach to feeling tested is this idea that like I gotta pass, I gotta fight, I gotta battle, like I gotta push through this test. But sometimes a test is really just there, for you to learn, even if that means you getting it wrong or that you weren't successful by whatever those standards are. Take that metaphor however deep you want to. But I thought that was really profound for me at least because I feel like I've always responded to tests in that combative way, like just naturally, like, oh, it's a test, I need to pass it, I need to rise to the challenge, succeed. But I never took the step back to kind of understand that maybe being tested is a way for me to be presented with a lesson. And it's not about me succeeding. It's not about me passing. There's nothing to pass or succeed at, just a lesson to take from it and go on about my day. So I thought that was interesting. And it just kind of popped in my head with us talking about, being tested and, not wanting to be on the battlefield and things of that nature. But does that bring up any thoughts for you?
I like that. I actually, so I think that as well. I share her sentiment on the testing of it all of lessons, right? I tell people I don't lose, I learn, right? But I don't believe that sometimes when it's in practice for me. So take what I'm saying with a grain of salt, people. Like it's very salt bait on that because I know that logically, but while I just roll with me, I know that logically. But when I'm in the thick of things and I'm in the mud, I'm right there in the midst of a lesson, right? I'm like, but this is a test and I'm supposed to pass. But really, test, you don't have to look at pass fail. Clearly, the Department of Education doesn't. So you don't have to do that. It's really aptitude test, right? We're talking perseverance. We're talking about how well we can withstand obstacles and all these other things. So like it's not really a pass fail, but I am a to some secretly competitive person and to most very strategic person. So like when I can't find a solution, that bothers me. That's like an anxiety trigger for me. So I literally tweeted that earlier today. Like I do share Yvette's sentiment on that, but I was just like, I hate not being able to have a solution to a problem because I think 99.99% of them have solutions. But January been break, problem. Like, where's the solve?
Look, what's the what they used to call them what they used to call the questions the problems in school, that the word problems.
Word problems.
Man, the January is one hell of a word problem, boy. Let me tell you. I got all the pieces. I just I don't know what equation I'm supposed to be using. I don't know what goes where, even if I did have the equation. I don't know what's my X, my Y, my Z. I ain't even realized we was using the whole alphabet in this equation. Okay.
No.
Um,
December was like the practice test, right? Your little study guide. You take it home, do some stuff. You're like, I'm gonna be good. You show up the next day for the test, being January. You like, these wasn't what y'all sent me home with on Friday. I
a new
don't know
book.
these
Look,
words.
this is a new book. This is y'all didn't give us this book. Y'all didn't give us this over break.
I think that was the other class that I don't. How many
That's
versions of this test do we
hold
have?
on, wait. Look, that's the sixth grade book. That's the sixth grade book. We only in fourth grade. I don't know why you gave us that book. We don't.
That's when you flip back to the front of that book to see who it belonged to the year before, and you're like, "Nah, I'm gonna take that home. I think I gotta return it to them." That's
Oh,
what I hope February is. Okay.
for the people that can relate to all the analogies we making, thank you. We appreciate you because we might be aging ourselves a little
A
bit
little bit, a little bit.
because the education system surely ain't the same. I'm pretty sure. I don't even know if they still do word problems at this point. Uh,
Hell, we just said last episode they can't read,
well,
so I'm pretty sure Castanet's name wasn't in that book. So no shade to him, right? But
easy target, easy target. Sorry, Kai. Sorry. But yeah, no, that yeah, dang, it was something I was gonna bring up. Oh, with this idea of like tests being more like aptitude tests being about perseverance, I also think that brings up a really good point about I don't think the majority of people enjoy nor are they willing to play the long game. But in essence, I also feel like that mentality in regard to tests in terms of seeing them as lessons could also just be seen as the long game because you also aren't going to pass everything. You aren't going to succeed at everything. The long game is understanding that there will be a lot of small wins. There might even be some medium wins along the way. There might be some small losses. There might be some medium and even some big losses along the way. But there's still like an ultimate goal that's like the ultimate win, the ultimate success, like whatever, ultimate success, like whatever the case may be. But people don't play the long game. I know that I feel like I'm a person that committed to the long game a long time ago in a lot of different facets. Do you feel like you're a long game person? Is that the type of player you are? Is that the game that you're interested in, the long game?
yes, but it's the double-edged sword for me. I'm definitely a long gamer for real. But because of that, that leaves so much space for opportunity and pathways. And that is just a nice way to say anxiety. I'm like, I could go option A, I could go B, I could go C, I could go C1, I could go B, A, like just it's too many things, and I see it all at the same time, and sometimes I do have to temper myself in that because I'm a long gamer and I can see the full picture in ways that a lot of people I'm around can't or don't, if that's by choice. I just be like, if you do this, then like I said before, I'm a walking if-then statement. If you do this, this could happen. Then if you do this, this could happen. Or if you tweak this here. That in turn makes me very lazy in my personal life because I can consult all day long with other people because, hey, anxiety helps me out. Well, it helps me help them out. But if it's me, I'm like, I think I'm gonna go lay down and scroll for 4 hours because I can't do it. So I'm a long gamer, but at what cost?
that is a great point. And I feel like certain people are kind of wired that way, but and I know that me and you are wired similarly in that way, but I also think it speaks to a confidence and belief that we have in ourselves, even with how anxiety riddled things can get. Being committed to the long game also kind of comes with this idea that I wouldn't say it's about, turning on the on off switch, but I think it's the idea that finding a balance between if I don't got it, like it ain't getting done anyway. So I might as well just commit to the bit that this ain't gonna happen this way right now. But the beauty of it though is when it does click, when it is right there, and when the path does seemingly become like crystal clear, it's like,
Mhm.
all right, rubs hand like bird, man. It's time to tap in. Let's go.
Not Birdman. Oh my God.
But we can typically, I feel like that's typically that aha moment is typically followed by a somewhat sustained run of productivity, growth, push, because and it's the patience to let it be clear. Like you said, like you might have a couple times where it's like, oh, A is a good option, B is a good option too. C is a good option. But then it could be C1, C2. Uh, I'll ponder on it a little bit more. And then, one day it's like, B is the one. Let's get active. But yeah, no, I completely agree with that. That resonates a lot for sure. Yeah, I think more people should play the long game. I think the there's beauty in the long game, and there's beauty in delayed gratification. That was the phrase I was trying to think of. But that aspect of being patient is also key.
We are more in sync than I think we realize, and also just viewers. If y'all know how long we've been friends, but as soon as you said beauty is in the long game, or if that's exactly what you said, I said it in my head, but I was like, I'm not gonna talk over him, and you said it at the same time, low key. So, it is beauty in the long game, no, and delayed gratification. But I think anxiety aside and all that other like nonsense, that I say that facetiously, but the long
Facetiously.
game,
Okay, I
huh?
see you. Facetiously. Okay, I see you. Pulling
Hey,
out the big words.
that test I passed.
You can fail.
Okay, sometimes I don't carry the one, but I will figure out I prefer E except after C. But being not being facetious with that though, but beauty in the long game, I feel like people rush success or life or good or a situation or whatever it is. Even if you want to rush through like the bad parts, everything has to have its own time. Like that's not lost on me. So the long game, I think, allows you to appreciate the present. It makes you aware of the future and the thing that you got to do, but that's been my like solace in all of this in some way. So I do think it's beauty in the long game. You just be like, how long is the game?
Yeah, I would love to know how many stages there are in
Mhm.
this game because I'm not trying to play phase 10.
No,
Okay.
no, that you know what? January is phase 10, and I've been
Man,
in
ain't
7.
it? January is Uno with 10 people.
Oh my God. You might as well play Monopoly at that point.
Pretty much. Like, look, January is a spades game to 500. And at this point, look, I got set a couple times.
Listen, okay? Give a sandbag.
Setbacks for sure. Look, a lot of look. We don't reach our 10. We definitely going
Uh,
to 100 for sure. Um, man, we can wrap up with this. I feel like that was a real good like snapshot into January and everything. But to focus on what'll be going on when this episode is released, we will once again be in Black History Month, right? And so that comes along with a lot of amazing memes, a lot of Black excellence, a lot of Black conversations, all of that good jazz. My question to you is, what does the same thing excite you about Black History Month every year, or do you feel like there's something different that kind of either excites you or that maybe, yeah, it just gets you excited or amped a little bit for the month.
Um, you know what? I like learning about us.
That's real.
Every time I find out something new about Black people, and when we talk about Black History Month, I think because in school and how we came up, like Black history was like ages ago. Like all of this stuff happened more than 50, 60 something years ago, right? But like Black history currently, I love a record. Give me like a Black Guinness Book of World Records. Whoa. Um, I love that. Finding out that, a black man invented the super soaker and it was something. I think the black woman was the voice of GPS or created GPS, excuse me, something like that. So like yeah, those things are kind of dated, but even now people like making Black history. I love learning about us. So I look for something new that I didn't know the year before.
That's super real. I definitely love learning about us too. I think my favorite part or the part that gets me excited is honestly like and really as a content creator as well, is seeing like the creativity of the month. Being in a space where whether it's, exhibits, whether it's learning more about black businesses, like there's so much pride that it, exists year round, but the way that we take pride in celebrating our month and making everything about us. Like we already kind of do. But we just amp it up a little bit come February. But I think that's what excites me because I just love seeing it on display. I love seeing it in more of a boastful kind of like cocky way because like yeah, this is our time, like this is our Super Bowl, our championship, so to say, so we gonna act like it, we gonna take our victory lap, so to say. So I think that's that aspect of it and the creativity that comes from that is what I would say is my favorite part of what excites me the most. But kind of like I alluded to, we're already undefeated when it comes to, comedy and when it comes to like memes and such like that. And it just reaches a different level in February.
I cannot wait to be abundantly black next month.
That's very real. Last question, and this is a black question. Given the recent weather atrocities that most people in the Midwest and across the country in certain parts have experienced, how long should you or should one in general let their car warm up before driving off?
Ah, that's a good question, okay? Because at some point you get tired of sitting in the cold and you be like, it ain't really got up from sea yet, but I got places to be and I'm cold sitting here. So do you just drive off after 10 minutes and say we just go warm up in the car? Which also like the logic is that you were still cold in the car. You just are now moving. Like you haven't warmed up at all, really. So um I don't know. Some say five, some say 10. I feel like a solid 15 is good, but I don't have automatic start, and I'm not about to go out not dressed for real to start it for 15 minutes and then come back in and get dressed. Like that don't make sense to me. So I'm gonna just and just sit there for a few minutes. What's your number?
It's much shorter than that 15 and that 10. I'll tell you that. I aim for 5. If it's really cold, I aim for 5 out of trying to be a responsible vehicle owner, right? Try to look out for Mamba. But in reality, start that car, get you about you got a good minute, maybe 2.
Oh, okay.
Cause I don't got time to sit there, like you said, I don't got time to sit there for the car to get warm before I pull off. Because also, what black people do is not take into account that it's cold and that you probably gonna need to warm your car up. So we not leaving earlier. Like we leaving
No.
at the same time as if it's 60 degrees outside. So
And then you mad.
I still got to get to work by 8. So yeah, if I'm getting in the car at 7:50, well, I still got to park. And that's the worst part is you get in your car. It's cold. Hopefully, you don't have a long walk to your car, theoretically, right? But you get in your car got to warm up a little bit. Then you got to drive to work. Don't let you ever walk to work, right? So, like, you ain't really warm till you get to your office or to your desk to begin with. You just cold for 25 minutes, however long. Like, if you got a commute that's not long enough for your car to warm up, you just cold till you get to work and get started. Then you got to spend the first 30 minutes of your day defrosting. Like, it's terrible. That's black people mad for you.
Yeah, you trying to curl your toes up in your shoes to warm them up. Your shoulders are still high, and then people want to talk to you. No, no, I'm hot.
No.
I mean, I'm cold. I'm trying to tell myself I'm hot, but I'm very cold right now.
Look,
Like
I'm hot about the fact that I'm cold. That's what it is.
it is no good. Let me tell you. Okay, I will say because I mean, let's be real. I'm not really going anywhere in the cold these days, but it was negative. I turned turned on the car over the weekend, and it was at -4.
Mhm.
I stay with an oil change and I stay with at least a half a tank of gas in my car as a true Chicagoan, right? So Phoenix turned on pretty well. But it's been a couple of times with Bonnie back in the day. You turn it on, the lights still real dim. She like, ain't nobody gave me no heated blanket. Like we not going nowhere yet. So you cold and you upset that you cold. And you're upset that you cold and you're gonna be late. Not because you couldn't rush to work like you normally would, but it's either snow or ice on the ground. Everybody can't drive. You're gonna add traffic either on the street or the highway, wherever you're going. And like you said, you gotta park. And it's usually less parking spots when it snows because the plow gotta put it somewhere. So welcome to January.
Honestly, look, look, I don't know if the title of this episode is gonna be Bye Bye January. Some maybe we're not gonna even acknowledge January at this point because it could just go. It could be we put it behind us. It's in the past. But yeah, no, February should be fun. I'm gonna try to brainstorm some Black History things for us to do. I know we did the Avengers last year, the Civil Rights Avengers, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, I'm gonna see what we can come up with this year. But it should be a good time indeed. No extra day this year, but we'll be fine. We'll live. It's coming up soon.
That's okay.
Um, I digress. But yeah, takeaways, thoughts as we wrap up and check out of here.
Let's wrap up and check out of January. That's my takeaway.
Yeah, well said. I concur. I second that. And as I bang this imaginary gavel, that's us checking out this episode. And until next time, we'll catch y'all.
Peace.
Peace.